Good morning. One thing about North Dakota, at least the mornings are cool, and man, they're talking I think 98 degrees today. So make sure you're outside. You take a bunch of water with you and drink. And yeah, I just sure drying up fast. So be careful out there. I'm trying to do a little hay in, and that's not coming very fast either, But gotta try to get back into the swing of things. So anyway, I gotta tell a story. A few years ago, a gal came up to me and said, Pastor, will you pray for my boyfriend and that he gets off pot? And I'm from the '70s, so I understand all that. I said, well, of course. And I prayed. I prayed. I prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed. And I hadn't seen her for a couple months, and then one day I asked her, I says, well, how's your boyfriend's drug problem? And she said, well, what drug problem? I says, well, you wanted him to get off the pot. And she says, no, I wanted him to get off the pot and marry me. Oh, man. Isn't that something? Things aren't always what they seem, right? So I want to just talk a little bit. I was just watching a little bit of television and listening to President Trump. And, man, it's like, does he even want the job anymore? Seriously, all the upheaval and all the craziness, the last 4 years. That was like a nightmare, I think, for anybody. Anybody, I don't care if you like him or not. That was just nuts. That was just beyond nuts. And then you watch Joe Biden, and he just got running around looking for a vice president because, man, he don't want to do the job. He'll just turn it over to them. And I'm thinking, what a strange predicament we are in these days. And it reminded me of a story, especially with everything that's happening, but of a young king, and he was 8 years old when he took the throne. 8 years old. Just I got a grandkid that's 10, and I don't really think I could see him running a kingdom, but there was something about something he knew that he needed, and that was to bring God back into the country. And it had been forgotten for years. His dad was he was an idol worshiper. He was setting up idols all over the place, and his grandfather was worse, Manasseh, and he would set up these idols all over the place and worship and lead the country astray. And the Bible says that Josiah went all the way back to his father David, and that was his mentor. That was the one that he wanted to follow after and have that passion for God. And the Bible says he didn't look to the left or to the right. And there's such a good principle there because and it's something I've really tried even to bring into my own life, because you can get on all these different things and all these distractions, and you fail one end or the other because you always leave something undone or amiss. And I just thought, he had one mind. He knew what he had to do, and he started tearing down. All these idols that were all over the country. And, this by the time he's 16 years old, he's going on this campaign to rip down all this idol worship. And, by that time, the kingdom of Israel has been split in two. So he's even going over, Assyria took over the northern half. He's still going over there and tearing down idols. It's not even their land anymore. And he's tearing down all the idols because he knew that God had promised that whole place to them. And I just, I thought, and this is before they even found the book of the law or God's word. They had lost it over the years. They didn't even know where it was. And yet in him was that hole that he knew could only be filled by God. And it goes along with scriptures that say, you know what? I'll put my law in your hearts and in your minds. And I think that's where I think, have you ever saw something or did something and you just knew it was wrong? You knew it was wrong. You didn't know why, but you knew it was just, this isn't right. And only later to look in the Bible and to find it, to say, wow, there it is. Why? Or even listening to a minister and they say something and all these red flags, you don't even know where the verse or the chapter is, but all these red flags are all over there. You're just shooting off all over the place. And you realize, wow, wow, there's something amiss, and only later to read it in the Bible where they weren't right in what they were saying. And I just think, I think that's why I do these videos. Why I think my whole ministry is getting people to read the Bible, because that's where wisdom and knowledge start. And you can read the Bible so much that you don't even know where it is, but you'll hear or see something and you'll know it's not right. You'll know it's not that because you've got the word in you. And I want to encourage you that way. And especially, like I said before, we're living in times of we need discernment. We need discernment to how to pray and how to vote, the whole thing. We need to know, not just what people are saying or think what we hear people saying, but really know how to react and what to do. And I'm praying for our country. You know, I mean, how do you not love this? And I just pray for our country because it can sure go south in a hurry. And I know, and that God's going to take care of us, and His mercy and grace are upon us. So I just want to encourage you with that, and especially when people are talking to you, make sure you hear what they're actually saying. So God bless you.